This is Danny with QuadLugs, and we're going to be installing the receiver in the box quad. We're using a Spectrum receiver. The receiver may vary, there's like the AR600, the 610. There's quite a few different receivers and different makes also, but today we're putting this one in. One thing that's pretty universal to all of them is that we're going to be connecting to the throttle, the aileron, the elevator, the rudder, and the gear are in auxiliary channel, which is going to control the modes. So that's pretty much universal to all of them. And also you'll have to bind it. This one takes a binding plug, and it may vary. But again, when you have your manual for your transmitter and your receiver, it's really good to go ahead and go over the instructions and go through the manual well. So we're going to be using the Spectrum today, and we'll continue on. Now, in the previous videos, you installed, of course, the frame, the motors, the ESC, and the controller. And with the controller, we're using a CC3D, came some wiring. Okay? So we're going to open this up. And it came with a couple of different wiring harnesses and a sticky pad here, which we're not using. But save it. I mean, it's good to have for future. You have a couple of different wiring harnesses. We're going to use this one, and that's what it looks like. This one right here is a little bit smaller, if you notice the connector. This connector is wide. This connector is narrow. There's more wires on this than this. We are not going to use this. This would be used for a different application. So again, we're not going to use this one. It's an extra. This is what we're going to use. And if you look at your wiring harness, you'll see this. You have a white, red, and black. Again, black is your common or your negative. Red is your positive or power. And white's going to be your signal. And you see it all hooked up on one. And this one is going to be used for our throttle. And this will furnish power to the receiver. So we're going to go over to throttle. And if you look here, you'll see throttle is the second terminal. And you'll also see it's listed right here. And it looked like a little hat sign here, and a plus and a negative. So this is going to be your signal. This is going to be your positive. This is going to be your negative. Okay? So this is going to be our throttle. This is the first one, the first wire after your power wire. And it's going to go in just like this. So we determine the signals here, positive, negative. Signal, positive, negative. And again, we're going to hook it up on the throttle. Now again, no matter which receiver you're using, you'll always want to hook this particular wire up to your throttle. And you'll have to determine where the throttle is. It may be in a different place on a receiver, a different receiver that you're using, but you'll always hook it up on the throttle. So this is the next wire. And this is going to be your aileron. So again, we're going to hook this up to aileron, and there it is right there. And the signal is going to be on that side, just as we're doing here. The next wire is going to be your elevator. Okay? And again, no matter where it's at on the receiver, if it's a different receiver, you want to hook this up on the elevator. The next is going to be your rudder. Once again, find out where the rudder is located on your receiver and put it there. The next wire is going to be your auxiliary or your mode switch, and for the Spectrum we're going to use the next one over, which is gear, or it may be listed if you're using a different one as an auxiliary channel. Anyway, here it says gear, and we're going to put it there. So you have your throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, and your mode switch, which here is being hooked up to gear, or if you have a different one, or a different make you have, it would be the auxiliary one. Okay? So there you are. And that's all there is to it. You'll have an extra wire, and you see here I taped it up, but it can be either taped up like this and use it for later, or you can remove it. We're going to go ahead and remove this one. Super easy to do. You can use a knife or a pen, and you'll see the tabs here. So here we'll lift up on the tab, gently pull the wire, and there it comes out. Okay, and we're gonna, you can save this if you want. I would recommend it. And there you are. What I normally do is hold it so you don't break any wires. Twist it a little bit, and I call that wire management. Make it look nice. Okay. Now we're going to plug this into the controller, and earlier I had mentioned that this is going to be the location of it. So you'll notice that the pins, it goes in one way, and the holes on this pin are up toward the top and furthest from the bottom. And if you notice the pins here in your other side of the connector, the pins are toward the top and furthest from the bottom. So that's how we're going to go in with it. You don't want to force it. If it doesn't want to go, you may have it turned upside down and just try it again. You gently push on it and you'll see it starts to go in. And then we'll make sure it's pushed in all the way. And there you go. Now we're going to install the receiver, and we're going to go ahead and put it here, and that's where I'm choosing to do it. You can put it in a different place if you want. This is a real good location for it. It's out of the way. We're going to have our Velcro installed here a little bit later. This is where our battery is going to go, so it keeps it clear. So let's go ahead and get a couple of sticky pads. We're going to put them on our receiver. And you'll notice that you have two wires coming off. Some receivers may be long, the wiring may be, the antennas may be longer, some of them are a little bit shorter. But either way, we want one going this way and we want one going this way, and it'll give us there at right angles, great for reception. Again, you can read up on your receiver and it gives you that information. So we're going to leave this one down below like that. We're going to put it right here. We do bind the receiver. We're going to do that in a little while. We're going to put the binding plug here. So whenever you put this in place, you may want to make sure that the binding plug is on top so it's easy to get to. Now we have one of our wires going this way underneath, and this one we're going to put this way, and that's going to give us our right angles. Let me get a piece of tape, and we're going to go ahead and put this in place now. There we go. This will work really good. We're going to put another piece on. There we go. Your antennas are now placed. Again, remembering this one, and there's one underneath going this way. We're at right angles. So you're in good shape. Next step, we'll bind it. We'll do that next time. Your receiver's installed, wired, ready to go. This is Danny. We'll see you next time.